Patient here and looking forward to this one. Well, a little bit of a delay there and a little bit of gamesmanship, I think, Peter, on the part of some of these riders.
Oh, I think so. This is always such an important meeting, and, you know, it's really the second meeting for the World Championship, this one. You get all the top riders here from the hardest league in the world, and they're really going to be trying for this one.
The lineup then goes from the inside, Chris Manchester in red, Mike Faria in blue, Brian Anderson in white, and Chris Louis in yellow and black goes from the outside in this one. That's the lineup. Chris Manchester there pulling back from the line. Also pulling back Mike Faria in blue. All pulling back there as the starting marshal struggles to get them into line. Tentative moments and nervous moments, Peter.
Oh, I think so. This is where the heart starts racing, doesn't it? Coming up to the tapes for this first race, it's a very, very nervous time.
Nerve ends jangling as the starting marshal gets them away. He tries to get them up to tapes. They're almost there. We're just about to get underway with this heat number one. As usual, when you see who gets away to the gate first, and away they go. Chris Manchester's there on the inside, but to the apex of the bend comes Brian Anderson. Anderson stretches his lead away down that back straight, and the others are nowhere. Brian Anderson going very well today from Coventry with one lap gone. Anderson out front. In second place, Chris Louis. Back in third, Chris Manchester. Right at the rear is Mike Faria with a lap and a half gone. Anderson doing very well, Peter.
Yes, Anderson's really having a good year this year. He's really established himself on the international front, and I saw him ride in Poland about 3 weeks ago, and he was absolutely brilliant there.
Well, Brian Anderson having it very much his own way out front. Back in second place, Chris Louis. Way back in third there is Chris Manchester, and Mike Faria tailed off at the rear. They're going wide. They're picking up the grip on the way down the back straight. It's an easy win, this, for Brian Anderson. Anderson in white is going to take the checkered flag here. He wins it with some ease from Chris Louis in second place. Back in third in red is Chris Manchester, and tailed off at the rear. Real disappointment for the man at the back, Mike Faria. Brian Anderson, the winner there, certainly had it very much as he pleased. Goes into the pits now, and I'm sure that he'll be looking at that. So it was won by Brian Anderson, and we can see him from the tapes with Peter.
Yeah, you saw the rider in blue there, Mike Faria. He seemed to anticipate the start, really made a jump at that, but on the outside, Anderson, you can see there, even Manchester on the inside, really tried to anticipate it, but when they get to the corner, it's the rider in white there, Brian Anderson. He's making a lovely, lovely corner there. He's pulling away. He's like 10 yards clear on the first turn, and there's so much grip there. You can see him just leaving the others there in his wake. But he's so controlled, he never makes a single mistake. He's got an absolute beautiful style there. His foot's just hovering there as he takes that corner. You can see that foot onto the inside footrest there as he comes onto the straight. That was a really good ride from him.
Well, certainly a good ride from the man in white there, Brian Anderson, winning that with some ease. In second place, Chris Louis. Third there was Chris Manchester, and a good start for the Dane from Coventry. Here's the lineup then for heat number two. Going from the inside in red is Craig Boyce. In blue in gate number two, Steve Johnson, the Australian from Long Eaton. Jason Crump, the British Grand Prix champion, goes from gate three in white. And on the outside, Joe Screen, the local favourite from Bradford. That's the lineup. This is heat number two. There's Joe Screen, the man that the public here, surely, or the majority of them, will want to see win this. He's going to make sure he gets a good start, and he's certainly making the gate conditions there in the shale surface to suit him. Looking from above the riders. Starting marshal going to get them away. He's ready now. He's happy. Away they go to the tapes, and Screen is held back. Into the first bend. There goes Jason Crump in front. Screen's coming round the outside, moves into second place. But Crump is way out front, and Crump is enjoying this. Jason Crump in first place, Joe Screen in second, back in third is Craig Boyce. Tailed off at the rear there is Steve Johnson with a lap and a half gone. Jason Crump has already said he enjoys riding in meetings live on Sky. He's going to enjoy this one.
Yeah, we've seen Jason CRUMP win the British Grand Prix this year at Hackney, and really he started off the way he finished at Hackney. He really is flying. Screeney is one of the favourites to win this meeting today, but in this one, CRUMP seems to have the better of him.
Jason CRUMP, though, going very easily with a lap to go, and he's going to win this one with some comfort. Keep up his favouritism. Joe Screen is back in second place, but CRUMP in white is going to win this. Screen in yellow and black is going to be second. Back in third place in red is Craig Boyce, and tailed off at the rear, disappointment for Steve Johnston. But no doubt about the quality of that man, Jason CRUMP, the winner of heat number 2. Could he be on his way to taking this Premier League Riders title?
We can see the start there. Screen makes an atrocious start off the outside. Again, the rider in white makes a beauty there. Jason CRUMP pulls down to the inside. He knows all the grips around the inside. Steve Johnston there struggling a bit, taking so much sail. Boyce is on the inside, but you can see CRUMP there. He's just pulling away. Screeney's got no answer to him in this one, and Screeney's really got to make some adjustments to his bike or do something to try and get himself back on even terms.
Well, the heat was won by the man in white, Jason CRUMP. There he is. Second place going to the rider in yellow and black, the local favourite, Joe Screen. And third in red, the Australian, Craig Boyce. That was the result of heat number 2. There they are in that order. That's how it finished. Heat 2, and Jason CRUMP now in line to take this title. I'm sure he'll be mounting a challenge throughout. He certainly looked in fine form there, Peter.
Yes, he did. That's a great start from CRUMP. That's just what he needs to start the meeting. Your first ride's so important.
Martin DUGARD has promised so much. He had his only world final here on this track, and he could, I suppose, be the surprise package, Peter.
Yeah, Martin really goes well. He's very underrated, Martin, but he seems to be more of a team man to me. He rides for Eastbourne, and they won the league there last year, and I think perhaps the individual meetings he's missed out a bit on, but we'll see what he does in this one.
There we are at Tapes then. We're behind the riders with Jimmy NILSEN on the inside. Martin DUGARD goes from gate number 2. Thomas TOPINKA from Oxford goes in gate 3 in the white helmet colours. On the outside, JOHNSTON from Hull. That's the lineup. This is heat number 3. 2 winners so far, Brian Anderson and Jason CRUMP. Who's going to be the winner of this heat number 3? Once again, the gate is going to be important. Each time so far, the heats have been won by the rider from gate number 3, wearing the white helmet colours. That man there on the inside, Jimmy NILSEN, knows the track, though, like the back of his hand, having been here on loan at Bradford before. And away goes NILSEN from the inside. But coming across there is Thomas TOPINKA. NILSEN holds him off. Some of the fans cheer him because they cheered him when he was a Bradford rider. TOPINKA's on the chase round the outside. Now has a go on the inside. But NILSEN holds him off, and NILSEN now stretches that lead. He looks as if he knows this track.
Yeah, NILSEN's done very well here in the past, and he's certainly proven in this one. Got the rider in yellow there broken down, but NILSEN's really going quick. He's just doing enough to win this race.
Only 3 left in it now because JOHNSTON has pulled into the side there with an engine failure. So now we've got down the back straight Jimmy NILSEN. In front of Thomas TOPINKA. Back in third place is Martin DUGARD. But with a lap to go, Jimmy NILSEN is certainly having it all his own way. Jimmy NILSEN in red now, some 20 metres in front of the man in white, Thomas TOPINKA. Back in third place is Martin DUGARD. But no doubt about the winner, Jimmy NILSEN in red. In second place, Thomas TOPINKA. Martin DUGARD is back in third. But that man, Jimmy NILSEN, a late replacement in the event, but now among the leaders and on a track that he's well used to. But disappointment for JOHNSTON, the Dane. There he is. An engine failure sees him having to push all the way back to pits. He starts with a duck egg, but no doubt about the quality away from the tapes here of the riders with Peter Collins.
Yeah, we've got NILSEN here on the inside in the red. He's very, very sharp on the start. He makes a beautiful start. He's out of the picture at this stage, but you see the outside STAECHMANN there. You can also see the rider in there. DUGARD lifts too much on the start, lifts completely and spoils his chances altogether. But Nilsen makes a nice start. He rushes to that first corner. He realises that TOPINKA is just on the outside of him. TOPINKA's trying to keep the bike as straight as possible, but he's having to turn a bit too sharp, and that's allowed Nilsen to dash up the inside. It's still very, very quick around the inside. All that grip's still down there before it moves wider. But you can see Nilsen there. He's got this one sewn up.
And that's how it finished. Jimmy Nilsen in front of Tomas TOPINKA in second place and Martin DUGARD in third. There's Sam Ermolenko in the red helmet colours, where he'll be going from the inside gate in this one. Good crowd assembled here for this meeting here in the very famous Oddsall Stadium that once held, I believe, around 120,000 people for a rugby league match. Not quite so many feet of a speedway.
Well, that's right. I mean, I think in the olden days they used to be climbing all over the banks and on top of the sheds and the old stadium roofs and everything. They used to really cram them in here, but of course with the stadium regulations these days we can't do that anymore.
Yes, I think they call it safety of sports grounds. There's the lineup anyway for this heat number 4. Sam Ermolenko on the inside. Armando Castagna from Reading in Italy goes from gate 2. Shane Parker from Middlesbrough in Australia goes from gate 3. And Sean Wilson, who represented England in the World Team Cup, he goes from the outside representing Bradford. That's the lineup. This is heat number 4. Once again, the starting marshal, a busy man. Once the riders have had their first ride, perhaps the nerves won't be there so much and they'll be down at the start and away promptly. For this one, though, it's Ermolenko on the inside in red, Castagna in blue, Parker with the white helmet colours, Sean Wilson on the outside in yellow and black. That's Armando Castagna there in the blue. We're ready to go. This is heat 4. The engine's drawn, away we go. And on the inside this time it's Sam Ermolenko who's in front, but coming round the outside is Sean Wilson, the local favourite. What a ride by Sean Wilson to go from third to first, Peter. He knew where to go.
Yes, he did. That's local track knowledge. There was a lot of grip around the outside on that first turn, and Wilson used it there to his advantage and just zoomed round the other three and took Ermolenko beautifully there.
Well, Sam Ermolenko left in his wake, but no doubt about the quality and speed of Sean Wilson out front there. Number 13 may be unlucky for some, but he's wearing it tonight, and at the moment it's very lucky for the young man from Bradford, born in York. Sean Wilson with a lap to go. He's surely going to take this one. Sean Wilson in yellow in first place. Sam Ermolenko's there in red. He's in second place. Back in third, Armando Castagna. And trailed off at the rear is Shane Parker. The checkered flag goes to the man in yellow. Sean Wilson, he takes that in second place. In red is Sam Ermolenko. And third in blue is Armando Castagna. What a ride that was. Much appreciated by the fans down in front of us here. And Sean Wilson knows that he has the crowd behind him, Peter. What a ride by the young man.
Yes, that was absolutely brilliant. That just shows you, doesn't it, about home track advantage. Wow. We can see in the start again, Castagna there, his legs are flailing about at the back. But we can see Ermolenko on the inside, feathering the clutch there. But I don't think he's expecting Wilson at all around the outside. We can see Ermolenko, he's pushing towards the front. He's going to run round that inside because he knows those first few races have been won riding round the inside. But the track's now changing. You can see there Wilson's just gone out of the picture in the yellow and black. He's gone very, very wide, and there's a lot of dirt now appeared out there. Ermolenko's on the inside, unaware of that. He's unaware that Wilson just flies around him. Look how his wheels are in line, and he's got such a lot of speed as he comes onto that straight.
Well, Sean Wilson certainly showing his quality there as a home track specialist, winning the heat ahead of the American Sam Ermolenko from Sheffield and Armando Castagna from Reading.
And general souvenirs are available at special sale price at the end of season sales.
The caption, packed grandstand here at the Oddsall Stadium, and they're all enjoying this one. Leaning against the fence there, Leigh Adams, the cowboy boots, the colourful leathers, and the London Lions race jacket. Coming up in the white helmet colours there, Billy Hamill. He's in gate 3. Mark LORAM hanging back, but that's Billy Hamill making some last-minute adjustments. Determined to get everything exactly right, as he has done for most of the year. Team Excite sponsorship has really benefited him this year, and Greg Hancock as well. That's the lineup. KARLSSON on the inside. The Ram goes from gate 2. Billy Hamill, the world champion, from gate 3. And Leigh Adams from Australia and London Lions, he goes from the outside. This is Heat 5, which completes one ride for each of the 20 riders here this evening. Starting marshal looking up to the referee. The starting marshal having problems there with Billy Hamill. Billy Hamill is now coming up to tapes. Riders are watching those tapes. They don't want to be caught, of course. Look who we got there. Chris Louis is the rider there with his back to us there. He's having a good look at what the others are doing. Putting his hat back on. Great view for them from the pits. This though is heat number 5. Away they go. And Billy Hamill it is to the apex of the bend first. He's chased round the outside by Leigh Adams, but Hamill is away. And Hamill showed just the technique on that bend to do what he wanted to.
Yeah, when you're world champion, you really do feel on top of the world, and that's a big boost for anybody, and he really is riding like a world champion. He's made a bit of a mistake there, but even so, he's able to correct that, but Leigh Adams is really pushing him.
Well, Billy Hamill went wide, picked up the grip, and away he went. No doubt about it. Leigh Adams in pursuit is giving him a battle. Adams has come through on the inside. A brilliant piece of passing by the Australian to leave Billy Hamill in his wake, and now Leigh Adams is out front.
Yeah, I mean, he really caught there, but Hamill unexpectedly. Adams rode right round the inside where nobody had been, closer to the curb than anyone had been before, and nipped up the inside of Hamill there, who was just cruising.
Well, the Ram is putting Hamill under pressure too, but Leigh Adams wins this in yellow. Down in front of us, Mark the Ram in blue takes second place, but only just, and Billy Hamill is back in third. Disappointment for the world champion. Elation for Mark Moran grabbing second place on the line. But glory for that man, Leigh Adams, as he goes to the pits with a heat victory in his belt. What a heat.
Oh, that was brilliant. I thought when the track actually was starting to change, the racing would get better. We saw some really good overtaking manoeuvres in that race. You can see there from the start, see KARLSSON on the inside, makes a nice start, but on the outside, again, on the outside, you can see Adams, he lifts on the start, but Hamill makes a beauty there in the white. He makes a really good one. He's about 4 yards in front as he rushes to the corner. And he realises the outside is quite quick, so he rides mid-track to cover the outside and the inside. But there, look at Leigh Adams, right wide. He's really getting the wheels in line now. He's getting a load of speed as he rushes down the back straight. But Hamill really thinks this race is in the bag. But we can see it there now. We can see Adams on the inside. He's pushing right round on the curb edge there. Hamill didn't know he was coming at all. Hamill was completely taken by surprise. Adams pulls away there. He covers Hamill in dirt as he goes by him. And that was an absolutely marvellous overtaking manoeuvre.
Well, it was a marvellous overtaking manoeuvre. So too was the effort of Mark Moran right on the line to grab second place as well. He left it very, very late, but the points could be valuable in the final countdown. But that man there with the engine cover there flapping in the wind is the winner. That's Leigh Adams from Australia and London Lions. Leigh Adams looks back there, acknowledges the efforts of the others, and down in front of us, all the fans know that they've had value for money in that heat.
Well, what was a very rough Grand Prix season for you?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Obviously, it's great to beat the world champion, but to come from the back and do it like that was it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Just I hope I can go on and possibly win the night.
I was just going to ask you that question. Does this mean, obviously, you've got to get to the last 8, and you must be confident?
Yeah, very. It's probably one of my favourite tracks. You know, I just love coming here and racing. It's a real racer's track, and you know, I hope I'm on for a good night.
Thank you, Leigh.
Cheers, thanks a lot.
Graded, and the track is really in good condition today. They pulled some of the dirt back, so we've got a bit of grip again around the inside, but ERMOLENKO needs points, and so does Manchester, really. I'd like to see Manchester do well for Bellevue, but we'll see what happens.
Well, that's how they line up with Steve Johnston on the inside in the red helmet colours. Jan STAECHMANN in the blue helmet colours goes from gate 2. Sam ERMOLENKO in white goes from gate 3. And right on the outside is Chris Manchester from Bellevue, wearing those yellow and black helmet colours. That is Chris Manchester. Saw him playing ice hockey just a week ago along with Billy Hamill. He had a little bit of talent there as well. Bellevue Aces. Familiar race jacket to you, Peter Collins, the ace of clubs on his chest.
Certainly is. I hear a lot of these Speedway lads are very, very good ice hockey players, so they've got a career in that if they wanted.
Steve Johnston wasn't one of them, I can tell you. He's in this heat, though, on the inside. Starting marshal just about has them in line. He gets away, and away they go. And going away is Sam Ermolenko into the bend first. Pursued round the outside by Chris Manchester. It's the USA 1 and 2, and Sam has found something there.
Yeah, Sam didn't go to sleep on the first turn then, did he? He made a nice start and he just let it go, and he's following that dirt now. His back wheel's just getting all the grip, and he's now pulling away after that early challenge. But you see Johnson there, just gone by Manchester.
Yes, Steve Johnson's now moved into second place, so the Australian is spitting the two Americans. But tailed off at the back is Jan Stateman, who had a disappointing retirement first time out. But here tonight in this heat, Sam Ermolenko is now very much back in the hunt with a lap to go. He's going by the starting gate and starting his final lap. Plenty in hand for Sam here.
Yeah, they've had such a lot of rain during the week here. There's a lot of nice dirt out there, and it's really working well now on the outside, and everyone's now starting to go wider, but Manchester seems to have broken down.
Well, yes, on the back straight there, Chris Manchester seemed to lose a chain or something, which gave the opportunity for Jan Stateman to get back in it. But no doubt about the quality of the winner there in the white helmet colours, Sam Ermolenko.
Oh, we can see the start there on the outside. Manchester in the yellow helmet. He knows he's got a good run around the outside. There's all that dirt out there, and he's going to really make a go for it. But we can see it again here. We see Ermolenko in the white helmet. He's really pushing towards that first turn. He's got his foot on the foot peg very, very early, but he's made a good start. He's running around the inside, but Manchester's just perhaps a little bit too wide to make full advantage of that dirt there, and Ermolenko just seems to pull away from here on.
Well, he certainly pulled away to win that heat, Sam Ermolenko, ahead of, in second place, Steve Johnston, and third was Jan Stateman. But Sam Ermolenko really found his form there, and now very much in the meeting. Well, there's Sam acknowledging the applause and certainly delighted to get that heat victory in that one.
Really good heats to start with, and that was very, very impressive.
Well, that was an important one for me. The first one I made a good start, but I didn't drift up high enough. And the track's getting much better on the mid-track line now, and I made a great start, got in front, and kept it this time, and things are going well.
What's happening? The dirt's being pushed out. You look like you were having fun, fast and wide.
Yeah, it was really good. What it is they're doing a lot of grading through this tournament, and the track's almost new every time we get on it. So if there's any berms or anything from heat to heat, they clean them off so you can use the whole track. So it's really beautiful.
Good to hear.
Thanks.
Well, the lineup then from the inside in red is Mark LORAM. Tomas TOPINKA is in gate 2 from Oxford, the Czech. Joe Screen on his home track at Bradford goes from gate 3. And Brian Anderson, the Dane from Coventry, who's qualified for next year's Grand Prix and who enjoyed his victory in heat number 1, he goes from the outside. For my money here, well, I don't think Tomas TOPINKA might be in this, but there's going to be great competition, Peter, between the other three.
I think so. One thing I've noticed tonight is the starting gate seems to be very, very even. We seem to have riders winning from all different gate positions, which is very good. It shows that the track is in such good condition.
Well, good condition for these lads here. Mark LORAM started to fly before the end of his first race. He's hanging back in the red helmet colours there. The starting marshal in this one, this is heat 7, having a few problems. The crowd, though, up in the stand behind are certainly enjoying it. They certainly enjoyed the efforts of Sean Wilson earlier on. There we are. We're just about to get underway. Who can make it to the bend first? Away they go. On the inside, it's Mark LORAM. Coming across well in white is Joe Screen. And Screen goes round the outside to the cheers of the fans here at the Odsal Stadium. And that, Peter Collins, is what you wanted to see.
Yeah, that's more like the Joe Screen that we know. He made a good start and he ran straight into that dirt. Very, very wide, much wider than all the rest, and he's really going for it.
Joe Screen out front then. Mark LORAM's in second place. Hugging the bend on the inside is Brian Anderson back in third. Bringing up the rear in blue is Tomas TOPINKA with half the race gone. Joe Screen is going wider and wider out front and further in front of Mark LORAM. back in second place. Joe Screen with a lap to go, looks as if he's enjoying this one. Mark LORAM in pursuit. Back in third place, Brian Anderson. Thomas TOPINKA at the rear. But no doubt about this, a popular win for the man in the white helmet colours. Up goes the crowd. In second place in red there is Mark LORAM. And back in third place is Brian Anderson in yellow and black. But that was a race that the Bradford fans wanted to see. Certainly a result they wanted to see. And a result that that man wanted to get. So, and he made it all the way.
Yeah, this is another one with home track advantage. I mean, he's there just snaking from the start, but he's got his right foot there off the footrest. But when he gets to the corner, he realises that he doesn't have to turn so sharp. He immediately puts his knee back, his leg back, and he runs so wide there. He knows, though, with being here so regular, that he can run very, very wide on the turn. We can see him here on the start again. He's looking across to the pole where the tape comes up. He lifts on the start, but that's a beautiful start, really, because his front wheel just hovered there. He leaves Brian Anderson there, who we saw a very good earlier ride. But when you see Screen getting that dirt there, he's hopping about there through the grip. The back wheel's pulling him all the way around there. His front wheel's just loose, hovering off the ground, and that was a marvellous ride from him. And if he carries on going like this, I'm sure he's in with a great chance of winning this one.
Joe Screen then the winner. Mark LORAM in second place and Brian Anderson in third. And now I think we can talk with Joe Screen.
Joe Screen, that was more like it.
Yeah, I made a better start than in the first one, and you know, just get my wheels in line and off I went.
So, right, top 8, and we're heading for looking for a win here, I hope.
Yeah, it's all about getting in the semis and then finishing the top 2 in the semi and getting that final, and that's what I want to do.
Good to hear, Joe. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Inside there, as we see on the captures looking from behind them, we're waiting for him to come up to tapes. Sean Wilson is in gate 2. Leigh Adams goes from gate 3 in the white helmet colours. Craig Boyce, who was pointless from his first ride from Poole, he goes in the yellow and black helmet colours on the outside. Chris Louis a second place, first time out. Sean Wilson a heat victory, first time out. Leigh Adams an amazing heat victory, first time out. And Craig Boyce unplaced. That's the lineup as we await heat number 8. They're once again messing about at the start and trying to make sure that they get a grip. What exactly, Peter, down there are they doing at this point?
Well, you know, there are some ruts there, Tony, which are full of shale. Some are packed in hard, some are just loose there, and they're looking for the ideal place to start because there's more grip in certain ones than there is in others, and they're just looking for that extra that they can get from the start to the first corner, and that's the bit that all the grips are.
Well, that's Chris Louis there sitting back on the inside, and the starting master trying to get him up to tapes. He succeeds now. They're waiting for Craig Boyce on the outside. I think he's got them in line now. This is heat number 8. Then the 20 qualifying heats, the 2 semi-finals. Away they go. On the inside is Chris Louis, and the battle is joined by Leigh Adams. Adams picks up a bit and goes wide. That allows out front Chris Louis to go through. Back in third place is Craig Boyce. Sean Wilson's at the rear. But Chris Louis now seems to have got his act together. He's fast, he's furious, and he's out front.
Yeah, he's done well to be leading this race actually from the inside start because really the outsides are working very well, and that's what happened to Sean Wilson there. This time, instead of being on the outside start position, he was on gate 2 in the blue helmet and he completely missed it and he couldn't run in that outside dirt. So Chris Louis is really doing well to be winning this one.
Craig Boyce putting some pressure on in second place on Leigh Adams, but out front, Chris Louis with a lap to go is going to add to his 2 points from his first outing and surely make this 5, and the competition is hotting up. In the red helmet colours there down the back straight. Chris Louis of Ipswich is going to take the checkered flag. In second place in the white helmet colours is Leigh Adams, and third in yellow is Craig Boyce. And disappointment for Sean Wilson, a heat winner first time out, but nowhere this time. But glory for the England captain, Chris Louis from Ipswich, as he takes heat number 8.
Yes, full marks to Chris Louis there. We can see Sean Wilson from the back. Sean is in the blue helmet. He snakes a bit on the start there. But we can see here Chris Louis on the inside of him. He makes a better start than he does. He rushes to the corner, and you see Sean Wilson in this place now. He can't get onto that fast outside line, so he's got to stay quite close to the inside, and it's not the quickest line, but Chris Louis there, you can see his back wheels just on the outside of that polished bit there. He crosses over it back to a bit where there's some nice grip. He's got his front wheel very close to the curb, and he does just enough to stop Leigh Adams shooting down the outside there. Another couple of metres there and Leigh Adams would have gone by, but when Leigh Adams gets to the other end, he can't come under the inside there of Louis, and Louis goes on to win.
Well, he certainly went on to win, and he won in style. It's Chris Louis of Ipswich in the Grand Prix next year, of course, and certainly showing the quality here tonight in that race as to just why he is among the world's top riders.
But you enjoyed that one, and so did most of Ipswich, I think.
Yeah, I hope so. I had 2 problems before that race. The bike I rode in the first one, just when we went to start it for the race, lost all its compression, wouldn't go, so changed bikes quickly, and I think the second bike felt a bit better, actually.
Right, so a second and a third with one sick bike, that looks pretty good for the rest of the night.
Yeah, you know, I reckon you've got to be looking at between 8 and 10 points, I guess, to make the semi, so that's what we're going for. I'm 5 with 2 races to go, we're on course.
Good to see you looking happier than you sometimes do in the Grand Prix, Chris.
Yeah, it hasn't been the best year in the Grand Prix, but hopefully we can make up for it tonight.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thanks.
There on the outside is Mike Faria. The man in white there is Jimmy Nilsson, the late replacement from Swindon, who comes from Sweden, of course. Gate 2 is Peter Carlsson in the blue helmet colours. And on the inside is the Australian Shane Parker from Middlesbrough. A little bit Peter Collins, one for the also-rans in this one.
Yeah, I was disappointed really that Carlsson didn't do better in that first ride, but I'm sure he's made some alterations to his bike, because that's not Peter Carlsson finishing last in a race like that, and I'm sure that he's been there working furiously.
There's the lineup. Parker on the inside, Carlsson gate 2, Jimmy Nilsson gate 3, Mike Faria from the Scottish Monarchs, he's on the outside. Starting marshal starting to get impatient. Plenty of heats to get through. A real meeting on our plate here, the Premier League Riders' Champion, one that they all want to win. Here we go for heat number 9. From the outside and moving quickly, Mike Faria, who comes across and takes them all. Mike Faria in first place, in second place there, Jimmy Nilsson in pursuit with some track expertise. Back in third place is Peter Carlsson. Tailed off at the rear is Shane Parker. But somehow from the outside there, Peter, Mike Faria shot across the apex of the bend and then picked it up.
Yes, Tony, Mike Faria never ceases to amaze me, really. He's been around riding for a long, long time, but he is such a good motorcycle rider. I think he's probably about 38, 39 years old right now, and he can... Although Jimmy Nilsson's giving him a run here.
Well, yes, Jimmy Nilsson goes by on the outside, but Faria holds him off and takes him wide. Nilsson keeps going and keeps the power on to take the lead. A marvellous ride by the 29-year-old from Stockholm who rides for Swindon. And now it looks as if he's going to take that checkered flag. But they're still battling. Jimmy Nilsson does it ahead of in yellow. In second place, Mike Faria. Peter Carlsson in third. We had a race there, but what a marvellous ride, Peter, for Jimmy Nilsson.
Yeah, Jimmy Nilsson's a vastly experienced rider, and he really sneaked up on Faria there. Faria really thought he'd got the race in the bag, but Nilsson just kept running there. He just kept plugging away. We can see here now on the start, the rider in blue there lifts a bit off the start as he rushes to the corner, but he's not in the same race as Faria, who's on the outside. You can see the rider in white there gets a bit of a nudge, but there's Faria. Faria's in the picture now. He's in front. He's controlling the race here at this stage. Jimmy Nilsson in the white's gone very, very wide. He knows that grip's out there, but Faria seems to have it covered here. He's got all that experience, Faria. He is really going well now. You can see Faria, the back tyre's really working, but just look at the way Nilsson comes around the outside of him. He's using all that dirt. The front wheel's just hovering as he passes him there. That little bit of extra grip just takes him by Faria. When they get to the next bend, Faria's made a bit of a comeback, but he's on the wrong place because he's on the inside of the circuit. You see Nilsson, he's still there, his back wheel's just on that dirt on the outside. When he gets to the middle of the apex of the corner, as soon as his back wheel hits it, the bike starts to straighten up slightly. That little bit of extra grip there, just enough to pull him by as they come onto the straight. It's just enough to let him go by on the outside of Faria, and that's Faria's now in second place.
Well, in the pits, I'm sure we have a joyous Swede, Jimmy Nilsson, with Julian Ryder.
Jimmy Nilsson, do I remember you doing quite well in a world final round here a while back?
Well, not good enough, but I've done a few good finals, yeah.
And fifth, I think, wasn't it, in 19?
90, yeah, I was fifth, and I rode for Bradford for 3 years as well, so I know this place pretty well.
You looked like you knew it there. That was a brave, brave move, forcing around the outside of FARIA.
Yeah, well, I was trying to line him up and work out where he was riding, and I knew where to pass him, so I went for it.
Wonderful ride, thank you very much. We really enjoyed that.
Thanks.
Then for this heat number 10, Billy Hamill on the inside, 3 points from one ride. Jason Crump, 3 points from one ride. He goes from gate number 2. Both of those could join Jimmy Nilsson in the lead were they to win this one. Martin DUGARD from Eastbourne, gate 3, and on the outside, Armando CASTAGNA from Reading. This is heat number 10. The battle is hotting up.
Yeah, Jason Crump's going to be the danger man here. Him and Billy Hamill, I'm sure one of these two are going to win this race, but if Hamill makes the start, I hope he doesn't throw 2 points away like he did last time.
Well, here they go to heat number 10. And away from gate number 2, like a jet engine, goes Jason Crump. Billy Hamill's on the inside, and now Hamill is back in last place because going through there was Armando CASTAGNA in sensational form. But out front is Jason Crump, and now the battle is on.
Yeah, Crumpy's riding exactly where he likes to be, from the front there. Billy Hamill seems to be struggling at the back. I think probably Billy's changed the bike because the bike he's riding now seems to be smoking real bad, so he's perhaps got a problem with that one. But take nothing away there from Jason Crump. He's absolutely flying.
Well, Jason Crump's going wide and going further and further in front, but battle in second place as Martin DUGARD tries to come through with a lap and a quarter to go. DUGARD is putting pressure on the man in second place, Armando CASTAGNA, but no pressure on the man out front, Jason Crump. Crump is way out in front in blue and is surely going to win this. Jason Crump makes his total 6 points. Back in second place in yellow and black is Armando CASTAGNA. Martin DUGARD is back in third. But what a ride by the British Grand Prix champion Jason Crump. The Australian from Mildura, who was born in Bristol, is a hot man tonight.
Yeah, Jason Crump was born into Speedway, wasn't he, with his father and his grandfather as well, both Speedway riders and very prolific ones at that. And, you know, he just lived with it all his life. And in that race, he just made a beautiful start. He's got so much experience. We can see here, look at that smoke there. I'm sure that's coming from Hamill's bike. He must have a problem there with that machine. But we can see CASTAGNA there on the outside, rushing towards that deep dirt there, but on the inside, Crump's already gone into first place. Hamill's in there on the inside, but he's not got the best line. We can see that again now. Crump's pushing towards that first turn. He's really pushing the bike now. Now Hamill's on the inside. He seems to be out of the picture at this stage, but CASTAGNA is there in the yellow helmet. You see CASTAGNA, he's chopping back up the inside. He cuts through that smoke there that's coming from Hamill's bike. Hamill shoots back to last place, and CASTAGNA did very, very well there to get into that second place, but he had no answer to Crump.
Well, the real disappointment, though, for Billy Hamill, because now he's just got 1 point from 2 rides. Remember, he had his first race for the asking, but he was passed by 2 riders in the closing stages. There's the full lineup for this Heat 11. Jan Stakeman on the inside from Hull. Joe Screen of Bradford goes from gate 2. Chris Louis from Ipswich goes from gate 3. And Shane Parker, the Australian from Middlesbrough, he's on the outside. Pick a winner here, Peter, of this one.
Well, Screeny and Chris Louis both had very good last races, and they both won them, didn't they, in really convincing style. And I think Screeny's, with his home and track advantage, he may be the one in this one, but who knows? But it's nice to see 2 English lads doing so well, Tony.
Well, I know if Joe Screen gets another heat victory here, certainly the fans will enjoy it, because he certainly showed good form last time out. But there's the man we're waiting for, Joe Screen. Many people's choice to win this meeting on his home track. On the inside there, that machine of Jan Stakeman is smoking somewhat. Now, away we go. This is heat number 11. Coming across well is Chris Louis to pick up the lead, but on the short way round is Joe Screen, but now Louis goes by him on the outside. A good bit of work by Chris Louis, Peter, and he seemed to pick the right part of the track.
Yeah, Screeny was stuck on the inside there, really. I think it was a big advantage for Louis to be on the outside of Screen. Louis made good use of that, although Screen's really having a go now. He seems to be all over the track, trying to get past the rider in red, but Louis seems to be holding that lead there.
Well, Jan Stateman is in second place at the moment, as Joe Screen will surely go by him if he picks the right line. Screen is held up. Screen dives through on the inside. He's battling for second place, but for first place it's Chris Louis out front. Louis in white with a lap to go. It'll be a surprise if Joe Screen doesn't get by here. But Chris Louis is having it all his own way out front in white. Back in second place, Jan Stateman in red. In third is a disappointed Joe Screen. And that was real disappointment, and it seemed to me that Joe Screen didn't get away as he thought he would. Chris Louis did, and Jan Stateman found form from nowhere.
Yeah, Stateman had a brilliant ride there. He really surprised everybody with that one, because Screen and Louis were definitely the favourites there, but Screen was actually on the outside of Louis, and when we saw that, when they went to the first corner, Screen was pinned onto the inside, and it was a bad place to be. But we can see that now. Screen's there in the blue helmet looking across. He makes a good start. What you see there, Stateman on the inside. He's got a nice run there. There's lots of dirt down on one. You see Screen there again. Screen's feathering that clutch. He's got his head down, really concentrating on getting all that weight onto that back wheel. But you can see Chris Louis just on the outside of him there. Now Chris is actually running for that dirt. It's the quickest way around. Everybody knows. You can see Screen moving out there, but he can't move too far because it's going in the wrong direction. But this is allowing Chris Louis to shoot away. But unnoticed by them, Stateman has shot right round the inside on a nice new bit of track there. But Screen really tries his heart out actually to get by Stateman, because he knows if he can get by Stateman, he can have a really good crack at Chris Louis, but it just wasn't to be because he couldn't get by Stateman.
Well, that's Chris Louis there, and he'll be a happy man at the moment, because the 8 points that he's got so far should almost see him through to those semi-finals. We'll be having the final countdown, of course, when we get there. There are 9 more qualifying heats yet. But Chris Louis said before the meeting that he wanted to do well here tonight, and now he's settled, Peter. It seems to be a battle of confidence.
Yeah, that was a big boost for him there. To beat Screeny on his home track, that's a real good thing for his confidence. And, I mean, he's really flowing now.
Now, he's looking at his tyres there, Peter. What are the regulations on tyres in this meeting?
Well, I think you can probably use a complete tyre, so they're allowed to flick the tyre back in two, because, you know, as you're riding, the tyre wears on one edge, but you can actually reverse the sprocket and put the sprocket and the gear on the other side, so you can use the other side of the tyre, so then that has a new edge on there. So I think as the tyre wears, they keep moving the tyre round one way and then the other to get the maximum benefit out of the tyre as it wears through the night.
Well, of course, that could be vital come the final, but down a bit here as they approach the tapes. The balmy evening here now. Rain threatened early on. We've had some sunshine, but now we're settling into fine speedway weather. There's the lineup. This is heat 12. Sean Wilson on the inside. Chris Manchester goes from gate 2 from Bellevue. Peter KARLSSON of Wolverhampton, gate 3. Martin DUGARD from Eastbourne. He's on the outside. The expression there of Martin DUGARD. At the moment, he has a lot to do. Waiting for the riders to come up to tapes. There in the blue is Chris Manchester. A little bit disappointing for him. He retired in his second outing, that rider in blue, the American from Manchester. Rides in Manchester, named Manchester. Going to ride in Australia in the winter, I think. There we go then, for heat 12. Away on the inside, that's Sean Wilson. Wilson picks it up. Peter KARLSSON's with him. Coming through in yellow is Martin DUGARD. DUGARD in pursuit of the rider in white, Peter KARLSSON. KARLSSON out front now, and we've got a race on our hands.
Yeah, this is more like a ride from KARLSSON, but DUGARD is really in pursuit of him here, and so is Sean Wilson, although again Sean Wilson, having to start on that inside start position, has pinned him to the inside, not made the best of the first turn.
Well, out front there then is Peter KARLSSON, having some comfort here, I think, the man with number 18 on his back. Martin DUGARD back in second place, trying to pick up the drive as he comes out of the bend. Back in third in the red helmet colours is Sean Wilson. Right at the back, that's Chris Manchester. With a lap to go, some comfort for Peter KARLSSON. DUGARD's not given up yet. KARLSSON down the back straight, having it easy. He's going to take the checkered flag in the white helmet colours. DUGARD in second place. In third place is Sean Wilson. Those points might count in the final countdown, but Peter KARLSSON has an awful lot to do, and the others even more. The winner from Wolverhampton there, Peter KARLSSON, and he did it in some style and with some ease in heat number 12.
Yes, we can see the start here. You can see there Manchester on the inside, or in the blue helmet. He's really in a bad position there, but Sean Wilson, you see him rushing towards that first corner in the red helmet. You can see Manchester again there in the blue, but that's Sean Wilson there in the red helmet. Now he knows he's got to get on the outside, but as he tries, he realises that Karlsson's in his way. I mean, he almost had to make a right turn before he turned left to get on that outside, but it just wasn't possible. But he's making the best of what he's got round the inside. At this stage, it looks as though Wilson's in front, but you can see that Karlsson's using that dirt. That's where all the grip is. All that dirt means grip, and Karlsson's used it, and he shoots by there. And the rider in yellow also shoots by on the inside of Sean Wilson.
Well, no doubt about the quality of that victory for Peter Karlsson there from Wolverhampton. He's had a fine season. He's in the Grand Prix next season, and certainly looking impressive in that one, but still with a little bit to do as yet. Well, up in the pits we could join Julian Ryder with Peter Karlsson.
Peter, I think it's about time the representative of the league winners won a heat. That was more like it.
That's right. A bit of a disappointing start, you know. I just hope another 3 points will do it into the semis.
How many points do you think it'll need?
Well, I haven't got a clue. No, I just got to go for the 3 points, you know, so I get 7 and see how far that goes, you know.
It's good to see a Grand Prix rider showing his class.
Well, you know, finally. It was a struggle to start with, but finally we got there, you know, and I think I can do the next one too.
What was your problem in those first two rides?
First ride, my bike backed up, you know, and second one, good riders, you know. You can miss points everywhere.
Sure, it's a tough competition. It's like a Grand Prix.
Really tough, you know, and really tough track, you know, really fast track, so it's enjoyable, though.
Glad to hear it.
Yes.
Helped his cause somewhat. That's the lineup. From the inside, Leigh Adams, Brian Anderson, gate 2. Amanda Castagna is in gate 3, and Steve Johnson on the outside goes in yellow and black. That's the lineup. This is heat 13. Wheels are spinning as they take a little respite there. The starting tape. The starting marshal, a very busy man here this evening. The crowd intent. Certainly a crowd of genuine Speedway fans here this evening. They seem to be enjoying it, Peter.
Yeah, it's a marvellous crowd. We're having a great night Speedway, aren't we, tonight? The forecast was absolutely diabolical for this weekend, but it stayed dry. It was a really good turnout, and the track's brilliant, so we're having a fantastic night Speedway.
Heat 13 then underway now. Adams on the inside, Anderson, Daniel and Johnson. That's how they line up, away from the inside now. See, Adams is fast and out front, but coming through on the inside in blue is Brian Anderson. On the outside in white, that's Amanda Castagna. Castagna, the Italian stallion, picks it up out front. Something of a surprise, this one, because Amanda Castagna came from nowhere there.
Yes, he did. You know, he's a big lad, Armando. He's almost about 6 foot, and his family run a business, a restaurant business in Italy, and he does a lot of cooking when he's back there, so I think the old pastor must have been doing him some good.
Out front, Castagna, back in second place is Leigh Adams. Adams surely in contention and needing a point. Problems at the back for Brian Anderson, who's now relegated to last place. Through into third comes Steve Johnson. On the final lap in the white helmet colours is Amanda Castagna in front. Castagna being challenged there by Leigh Adams. Adams pushes through into second place. But Castagna's going to take the checkered flag. Under pressure in white, he takes that. And that's how it finishes. Amanda Castagna in white takes the checkered flag ahead of Leigh Adams in red. Back in third place is Steve Johnson in yellow and black. But the Italian will remember that ride.
Yes, Armando's certainly a character within Speedway. There are not many Italians in the league, but he's certainly one good one, that's for sure. But we can see Johnson there on the outside. Jono, you can see that on the back of his leathers. He knows that the outside is the best place to be, but when he gets to the turn, he's just not far enough forward to get around the outside. We can see the start again there. The rider in white's feathering that clutch as he's rushing towards the corner, but Johnson there on the outside is seeming to be just dropping back a little bit. He seems to be in a good position to strike at this stage. But there comes Adams on the inside. He pushes Castagna just that little bit wide, but it pushes actually Castagna onto the dirt where the grip is. Castagna's dangling his legs out the back there. I don't really know what that's all about, but he seems to have got a nice ride there as he's pushed onto that dirt, and he suddenly finds himself in the lead of Adams there.
Well, and that's how it finished. Amanda Castagna in front of Leigh Adams and Steve Johnson, and Brian Anderson. Real disappointment for him at the back. 7 of the qualifying heats to go. The target for most of these riders, at least 9 points. There's the acknowledgement of the success by Amanda Castagna from Italy. And the Italian is talking with the multilingual junior rider.
We have Armando Castagna here in the pits. A great ride. 6 points from 3 rides. Enough for the semi-finals?
No, I don't think very enough, but I need another good ride in the last one, then maybe I'm there. I'm pleased I changed something in the bike. The bike is going better. Goes good around on the outside, so I'm pleased.
Armando, we're used to seeing Italians in road racing, superbike, motocross. Not many in speedway. How come you're a speedway rider?
Well, you know, I tried everything, motocross and road race, but it's a bit different world because where I come from in Italy, everybody likes speedway, and the first time I saw speedway, I fell in love with it, so, well, so I'm here.
We're glad you are, thank you.
Thank you to you, bye.
Well, there it is, Amanda Castagna. He's hedging his bets. On the inside there, Mike Faria. He's in the red helmet colours. Billy Hamill, the world champion, with a disappointing 1 point so far. He's in gate number 2. Craig Boyce, the Australian. Disappointing night for him on 1 point to date. And Tomas TOPINKA goes from the outside with a 2nd place and a last place 2nd time out. That's the line-up. There's the starting marshal. White gloves. It's almost like snooker here tonight. On the outside, Tomas TOPINKA. They're riding almost as fast as Alex Higgins plays. Little bit of nerves at the tapes there. Man in blue is Billy Hamill, and he desperately needs the points. I think Billy Hamill is going to have to get at least 2 successive heat victories to have a chance now qualifying. They're at the pace. Let's see if they can do it now. Away they go. Hamill picks up on the inside, Mike Faria, but coming through quickly. They take him 1 and 2. In white there is Craig Boyce to the front, but now Faria into 2nd place. Hamill's at the back. His night is almost over. Real disappointment for him, but Craig Boyce has found some speed this time.
Yes, Boyce is really going well in this one, but I think Billy Hamill perhaps gave a couple of clues away at the start of the meeting when he didn't sound that confident about Bradford, so perhaps this isn't really one of his favourite tracks, and it seems to be proving that tonight.
Craig Boyce is enjoying this one out front in the white helmet colours, way in front of Mike Faria. Australia 1, America 2. Back in 3rd place, Tomas TOPINKA from Czechoslovakia. And at the rear, a disappointed world champion in Billy Hamill, with just half a lap to go. The man in white, Craig Boyce, still has a lot to do in the meeting, but he's going to take that heat. In 2nd place in red, and 3rd place just on the line, held by Tomas TOPINKA, ahead of Billy Hamill. The 2nd place man, Mike Faria, but Craig Boyce found speed that he hasn't had earlier in the meeting, and he made it count there, Peter.
Yes, he did. Boyce really hasn't shown anything during this meeting, but that was definitely a vast improvement. We can see on the start here, the rider in red there, Faria, he actually makes the initial jump on the start there. He rushes towards the 1st corner, but you can see there the rider in white who's on the outside there, Boyce. He runs around the outside. We can see this one again. We can see Hamill there. He lifts on the start terribly, actually. That was a desperate start from Hamill. He gets to the corner, and he's actually last when he gets there. You can see Hamill, he actually lifts when he's got probably 10 or 12 yards out from the start, which is just the wrong place because he lost that extra yard when he got to that turn. He got sandwiched in between Faria and Craig Boyce, but you can see Craig Boyce is on the outside. Again, he's got his back wheel on that dirt when he makes his turn, then he chops back to the inside across the front of everybody else as he's going straight, and he just pulls away from there on.
Well, he pulled away from there on, and Craig Boyce certainly had that very much as he pleased, the Australian. He's had a disappointing season he's had in the Grand Prix. He hasn't qualified for next time. He didn't qualify from the Grand Prix Challenge, but that heat, well, a little bit of consolation perhaps for Craig Boyce from Sydney. Rides, of course, for Paul here, and he's a stalwart down there.
Craig, that was more like it. You must be a bit happier.
Yeah, a lot happier. Struggling at the start badly tonight, so I tried a little bit different technique just then. That seemed to work, so fingers crossed I can do it in the last one.
You know an Australian's never won this meeting?
The way I'm going, I don't think I'll win it tonight, but...
Are you on for the semi, surely?
I'd like to think so, you know. If I can win my last heat, then we'll be in there with a shout.
We look forward to it.
Yes, thanks.
Well, there they are at the tapes. On the inside, Jason Crump, Sam Ermolenko. He's going from gate number 2. Mark LORAM goes from gate 3. And Jimmy Nilsson, the shock of the meeting so far, goes from the outside in yellow and black. Crowd certainly enjoying it here. Up on the inside, there he is. Look, Jason Crump, no nerves for him at the moment there. 2 heat victories, 2 wins, the British Grand Prix champion. And he's trying to get this title here this evening. That man in blue there is Sam Ermolenko. Gate 3, Mark LORAM in white. On the outside in yellow is Jimmy Nilsson. Johnny Marshall walks away. Away they go, and Crump's to the floor. Straight away on the inside, but look who's coming through. From the inside is Jimmy Nilsson. Into second place goes Sam Ermolenko. A battle on our hands, but Jason Crump is the man out front.
Yeah, those first turns are absolutely marvellous. You can see there that Crump was on the inside when he made the start, then he rushes straight to the dirt on the outside. The riders that were on the outside dived across to the inside. It was all happening there, but Crump came out on top.
Jason Crump then going wide and picking up the lead with 2 laps to go. Sam Ermolenko's in second place, but battling him now. Jimmy Nilsson tries to get through there. At the rear, it's Mark LORAM. Disappointment for him at the moment, but with a lap to go. Jason Crump has time to look back. He looks back and sees a battle in second place there. It really is a battle. Winning it at the moment is Sam Ermolenko. Ermolenko battling with Jimmy Nilsson. Who's going to get in? Ermolenko gets the drop. Ermolenko in blue is second. The man out front though that won that is Jason Crump. And back in third place in yellow and black was Jimmy Nilsson. But Jason Crump is now certainly bound for a place in the semi-finals. 9 points out of 9 for the British Grand Prix champion so far.
Yes, Jason Crump is so strong from the start. But Nilsson there on the outside, you can see how close to that kickboard he was. His footrest was almost touching that board there, but he rushes into the corner, he realises he's missed it, he chops right up the inside of the rider in white there. He goes on the inside, you can see Ermolenko there also in there in the blue. But we can see the start again there with Jason Crump. He lifts on the start off gate 1, but it's not the best place to be on the inside, you know, because when you get to the turn, you've got to turn very, very sharp, and you've got all those lads that are chasing that dirt on the outside. But Crump's riding so determined, he's so hard on the first turn. If you see there, he's gone from the inside right to the outside. He's gone from the white line almost to the fence. When he comes onto the straight after the first turn, he's just done enough to stay in front. Ermolenko's going to dive up the inside there, but when he gets to the turn, Crump's in command. Crump's got the best line, and he goes on to win the race. Really nice there from Jason.
Well, certainly good work by Jason Crump there, and now they've all had 3 rides, and we can start the final countdown in a moment to see who's in line for these semi-final places. But no doubt about the efforts of Jason Crump out there, because he's enjoying the evening, and he certainly leads the field on 9 points. And Jason Crump is now in the pits talking with Julian Ryder.
Jason, what do? You save it for live TV, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I guess I seem to have a bit more luck when the Sky crew are here and putting it out live, but still a long way to go yet tonight, you know.
Oh, you've got to be happy, though. Maximum man.
So far, I'm happy, but, you know, as the night goes on, the races get tougher, so, you know, a lot to go for yet.
But you're in the semis, aren't you? Let's at least be cheerful about that.
Yeah, I'm cheerful about that. Now I'm out in the next race, and we're making a few changes to the bike because I haven't got a pressure situation, so we can try something, and if it works, good. If it doesn't, we know the other setup was working okay, so it's a good race to try something out in.
The luxury of experimentation.
Well, yeah, you know, you've always got to try. 3 wins, but the track's changing a little bit now. The tractors are working on it. It's been very good, but getting a little bit slicker now.
Jason, thanks. No Australians ever won this meeting, do you know that?
Well, hopefully tonight can be the first one.
Well, Jason Crump and STAECHMANN, BOYCE and CASTAGNA could qualify for the semi-finals. Castagna on the inside, BOYCE gate 2. Jan STAECHMANN is gate 3. Peter KARLSSON on the outside. Castagna of Reading, BOYCE of Poole and Australia. STAECHMANN, Denmark and Hull. KARLSSON of Sweden and Wolverhampton. That's the lineup. This is heat 16. Armando Castagna in red there, and Craig Boyce in blue, effectively the two riders counting in this one. Both could qualify for the semi-finals if they do well in this heat. Will there be any temptation, Peter, alongside me for STAECHMANN and KARLSSON to stay out of this battle?
I don't know. I mean, usually on the night, the best riders are going the best, and that's how it usually works out at the end, I'm sure.
Well, they're coming up to takes, and there's going to be a battle join between those two on the inside. Armando Castagna in red, and hanging back there, Craig Boyce in blue. Both making a late bid for the semi-finals here. Remember, the top 8 point scorers from the 20 qualifying heats go through to those semi-finals. This is heat 16, the way they go on the inside. But coming across is Peter KARLSSON to pick it up. Man in red is Armando Castagna. Castagna pulls away from the bend, but KARLSSON goes past him on the outside. Castagna and Boyce have it all to do. KARLSSON not to be outdone. Stretches his lead down this home straight. Castagna is going to mount a challenge. They've both got work to do here, Peter.
Yeah, you can see Castagna, he's quite a big lad and he's riding the inside. He can find quite a bit of grip on that inside with his weight on that back wheel. But KARLSSON on the outside is using that dirt that's out there. But what happens through the night, the dirt seems to get too far out, so you have to start to come back a bit towards the inside as the night goes on.
Well, there in Peter KARLSSON, but Armando Castagna, if he can salvage a couple of points in the second place here, he could just about qualify for the semi-final. Peter KARLSSON, well, I don't think 7 points will be enough, but who knows? Peter KARLSSON is going to take the checkered flag here in yellow. In red in second place, that is Armando Castagna. Back in third is Craig Boyce in blue. He's going to have a great difficulty in qualifying. Peter KARLSSON's 7-point return probably won't be enough, but certainly he showed the form that he's been looking for in that one, Peter.
Yeah.
There he is making his mark. Union Jack behind him, hardly appropriate even if he was born in Bristol. That's Jason CRUMP, last minute adjustment. Marvellous night for the 21-year-old. He said he enjoys meetings live on Sky, and he's certainly done us proud this year.
He certainly has, Tony.
Starting Martin's going to walk away. Crump from the outside, makes it first to the bend and comes across. He plays it safe, he goes wide, leaving Chris Manchester, but here goes Jason CRUMP. He seems to have the right formula here this evening, and surely this is going to make it if he stays like this. 4 out of 4. He's picking his spot ahead of Chris Manchester and Tomas TOPINKA, with the unfortunate Shane Parker tailed off at the rear. But Jason CRUMP looks all set for victory all round tonight.
Well, he's doing really well, because when he won the Grand Prix at Hackney's quite a small, tight track, and you've got to ride it very hard, turn very sharp, but this track is the complete opposite. It's so big and so fast, and he seems to be going real well around this one as well, so he is so adaptable.
Well, certainly Jason CRUMP out front with just a lap to go. Now, certain of a place in the semi-finals. At the moment, looking almost as if he's going to just have to ride to win. Coming through in the third place now is Shane Parker. But just to get his first point of the night, the man in blue. Disappointment for Tomas TOPINKA. But what a night for that man there. Jason CRUMP, the Australian from Mildura. Although born in England, Australia is his name. And he's the first man definitely through to the semi-finals, and he's done it in style.
Yeah, CRUMP has been absolutely dominant today. You can see him there on the outside, the bike snaking a little bit as it's going across those ruts in the track. You can see him there again, his front wheel's barely turning before it touches the ground. He rushes towards that first corner. He doesn't even need to look across at the others because he knows he's in front. He's running out to that dirt. He knows exactly where he wants to be on that first turn. He knows all the grip, all the speeds out there wide. The riders on the inside are turning very sharp. He doesn't look as though he's in front at this stage, but as he runs onto the straight again, he's miles in front, and that's a marvellous first ride, and so dominant from him, and really he's set himself up now for these semi-finals and hopefully the final.
Well, a maximum then for that man, Jason CRUMP, 12 points out of 12 so far, and he is going to be the man that they have surpassed. The first man to qualify for the semi-finals. He's done it in real style, and now, well, must be everybody's favourite to take this title.
No, I think the changes that we talked about before worked well, and I know how I need the bike now for the semi and hopefully for the final as well.
Obviously, we don't have to ask you what you've done to the bike.
Well, I don't really want to tell you too much, but it seems to work.
And no Australian has won this meeting, I'll tell you that again.
Yeah, well, you know, each race I'm getting more determined to win it, so not only for Australia, but for Peterborough Speedway too.
Excellent. Jason, thank you.
Second gate in the blue helmet colours, Brian Anderson from Coventry, who started so well, is on the inside in red. Nilsen next to him in blue. Gate 3 in white is Sean Wilson from Bradford, and Billy Hamill, the world champions, on the outside. And realistically, he certainly cannot qualify. A disappointing night for him. Little bit of a gap at the moment. Nilsen going wide in his gate, leaving a gap between him and the man on the inside, Brian Anderson. Starting marshal starting to get impatient. The action hotting up here. We've got 3 more qualifying heats, 2 semi-finals and a final. Brian Anderson there, nothing short of a heat victory on the inside for him in red to do if he's going to stand or remote his chance of qualifying. For Jimmy Nilsen in gate 2 in blue, there he is. Pulls away. Nilsen is sadly at the back. Could it all be lost? He comes through into 3rd place now, Jimmy Nilsen. Out front is Brian Anderson. In 2nd place in yellow, Billy Hamill. Hamill trying to pick it up front. But Nilsen has a bit to do here.
Yeah, Nilsen's back in 3rd place there, but he's having to go around the inside there. We can see the rider in red there, Brian Anderson. He's made a good start, but Hamill's really having a go. Hamill's riding the inside line. He's not brave enough to get out in that dirt tonight, but he knows the speed's out there, but he's just got a good line on the inside, but he's having a go, but he doesn't seem to be gaining anything now against Anderson.
Well, a retirement at the back there for Sean Wilson, but now with a lap to go. Out front is Brian Anderson. Billy Hamill's in 2nd place. Jimmy Nilsen is back in 3rd. Nilsen may have thought that there's enough to qualify, and 8 points may well be so. This is what he'll get from this. But now to the checkered flag. In red is Brian Anderson. He takes that checkered flag. In 2nd place in yellow, Billy Hamill, and 3rd in blue is Jimmy Nilsen. Brian Anderson has won that heat. He started with a win, he's finished with a win, in between just 1 point, but the mathematicians will count him down, and he might just make it.
Oh, we can see the start there. You've got Hamill right on the other side in the yellow and black. You've got Anderson on this side. You can see there, Jimmy Nilsen lifts in the blue helmet there. Got Anderson on the inside, but actually Hamill makes that start. Billy Hamill makes the start there in the yellow and black helmet. He seems to be controlling the race at this stage, but he's not really gone wide enough because his back wheel isn't on that dirt, and that's allowed Anderson there to run right around the inside on that bit of grip there that basically no one's got onto. It's very difficult to get right so close to that curve, but he got down there and used that dirt to take that 1st place away from the world champion.
Well, the 1 point is probably enough to give Jimmy Nilsen a chance of a place in that semi-final. The final countdown from 3rd place sees him still 2nd only to Jason CRUMP and level on points at the moment with Armando CASTAGNA. And a man who certainly isn't going to qualify is Billy Hamill. The world champion is now with Julian Wright gate. Mark LORAM can't make gate. And Chris Louis is already there without completing his next ride. Martin Dugard on the inside in red. Chris Louis in blue, gate 2. Steve Johnson, gate 3 in white. Mark LORAM from Exeter on the outside in yellow and black. Well, Chris Louis is already there, and if 7 points were going to get it, a win for Martin Dugard or Mark LORAM, Peter, to take them through.
Yes, it could, and I'm sure they'll be going for that. They know that this race is so critical. If they want to be in that semi-final, they've really got to do well in this, and there's a possibility that they could go through.
Well, we're going to have to do the mathematics later on and just see who can go through, but it's looking now as if 7 might just make it. This is heat number 19. This and 1 more to go of the qualifiers. Start with Marshall at the ready. Away they go, top the tape. The outside in yellow is Mark LORAM. Martin Dugard has the disappointment of lifting. And now down the back straight in blue is Chris Louis. Louis out front, back in second place is Mark LORAM. Louis knows he's qualified. I just wonder whether he might let his brother-in-law Mark LORAM through to give him a chance.
What are you trying to say, Tony? It doesn't look like it the way they're going now.
No, Chris Louis is way out in front now and having it very much his own way. With 2 laps to go, Chris Louis back in second place, Mark LORAM. Third at the moment in white is Steve Johnson. Tailed off at the rear, that's Martin Dugard. Just over a lap to go. Chris Louis is having this very much as he please. The blue helmet colours out front. Back in second place is Mark LORAM in yellow. Back in third is Steve Johnson. And a disappointing night is going to end here for Martin Dugard. Chris Louis, and second only to Jason CRUMP out front there. And certainly he's a certain qualifier for the semi-finals. And he's showing some of the style there that we've seen when
Two men with very different fortunes tonight. I'll start with Billy, if I may. Billy, what happened tonight?
Well, I can't really pinpoint one particular thing. It's just certainly hasn't gone my way, that's for sure.
Machine troubles?
No, I can't really pinpoint it down to machine troubles. I think, you know, I probably didn't get the setup right from the start, but I'd put it down to me more than the machine.
Would it be rude of me to suggest that you're looking forward to the end of the season after the Grand Prix now?
Don't tell nobody, Julian.
Mr. Louis, now, I think I'm right in saying your dad won this meeting many years ago. Is that correct?
I think so, yeah. It was a long time ago.
I'm glad to hear it. But you're looking much happier than we've seen you on Sky in the Grand Prix all year. A lot more cheerful.
Yeah, I haven't ridden tremendously well in the GPs, and I've been riding a lot better this last month or so. So, you know, I'm happy and confident, but the semi-finals and the final are obviously going to be much, much tougher.
Glad to hear it. We look forward to it.
Thanks.
Side gates are usually the best, and you can see ERMOLENKO's out there on the outside. They're all gardening now, trying to find a good spot because it's going to be so crucial, this gate. But you can see Leigh Adams there. He's on gate 2 and he's getting as far over towards 3 as he can because he knows that the further he can get out, the less sharp he's going to have to turn the corner.
Joe Screen on 6 points on the inside. Leigh Adams on 7 next to him. Mike FARIA on 4 and Sam ERMOLENKO on 7 as they go to this one. Already certain to qualify Jason Crump on 12, Chris Louis on 11, Jimmy Nielsen on 8, and Armando Castagna on 8. Those are certain to qualify. The rest is in the melting pot. It's all on this heat 20. Away they go on the inside. Goes Green, puts it up. Round the outside, the challenge is on and mounted by Leigh Adams. But Adams picks it up ahead of him, white Mike FARIA. FARIA is back there in white, but out front, there's no doubt about the man in blue. Leigh Adams ahead of in second place, Mike FARIA. Joe Screen in red comes through. The stadium erupts as Joe Screen goes through. But Screen is overtaken again on the outside by Mike FARIA. The battle is in second place. There's no problems out front for Leigh Adams. But back in second place, the qualification is an issue. In second place now is Mike FARIA. Joe Screen has got to try and make this. He might even make it, but Leigh Adams in blue wins it. In second place. In white, there's still a lap to go. Can Screen do it? Leigh Adams is going to take the victory. But in second place, still at the moment, is Mike FARIA. FARIA's going to take it. And Screen is back in third place. The stadium erupting. And Joe Screen will have to wait and see now.
Tony, that's going to be real close for Screeny now. He couldn't really afford to drop so many points there, and that man Mike FARIA held Screeny back there in third place to take that point from him, but they've got no answer there to Leigh Adams, who made that start and just cleared off in front.
Well, we certainly know that Leigh Adams has now qualified for this final with 10 points. He joins the big guns. And Mike FARIA, who took second place there, we know certainly isn't going to qualify for anything. But Joe Screen with 1 point, which takes him to 7 points now. And it's going to be up to the mathematicians to sort out these final placings.
You can see Screeny there on the inside. He's so close to the curb as he takes off. He knows that the grip's still down low. He's going to get to the first corner there. He's going to try and move Leigh Adams, but he's not further enough in front there. You can see ERMOLENKO in the outside. He gets pushed further than he wants to be, ERMOLENKO. He's actually too wide there at this stage. Everyone seems to be coming towards the straight at the same time, but the rider in white there nips on the inside there. That's Mike FARIA, and he pushes Screeny out wide there and takes that extra point from Screen. See Screen there, he tries to come on the inside of FARIA at one point. He tried that very tight inside line, but when they get to the corner, FARIA gets squashed up against the fence, but he still manages to keep going. That was really brave, that from FARIA, but he keeps on going round the outside. He's turning, he's got his back wheel on the dirt. Screen's turning too sharp round the inside. Screen's too far off that inside curve to gain that extra advantage as he did the lap before. It looks as though at this stage that Screen's gone by, but as they come to the straight now, FARIA's lining the wheels up, both wheels in line just before Screen. Screen's got his front wheel on the grass, but it's still not enough to stop FARIA going by him again, and that was a brave ride there from FARIA to hang on to that second place.
Well, a suitable finale to the qualifying heats, and now we do the countdown. So then, the finish is going to be...
Well, the gate positions are going to be very important. We know that. We've seen that earlier on in the meeting. The outside starts are working better, and if you get that outside run, that's really where you want to be. But the two Australians are in the middle. You've got Crump off gate 2 and you've got Adams off gate 3, so they're like the sandwich here. Now we're going to see what happens, because whoever gets to that first corner has got to come out there first, and they've got to get the best line round that first turn, and it's going to be all on when they get onto that first straight.
Well, we know that only the first two go to the final, so there won't be too much risk-taking when they get out in front, because they would be assured of a place in the final if they finish second. A surprise here, perhaps Armando Castagna making the final, though, Peter.
Yes, early on he seemed to struggle a little bit, but he certainly came good at the end, and you know, that made all the difference, and to see him in there in this semi-final is marvellous, really. We'll see what he can do now, though, off that inside start position, because it's not the best place to be.
Well, I'm sure the supporters want to know their clubs. Castagna is from Reading. Jason Crump, of course, rides for Peterborough. Leigh Adams rides for the London Lions, and Brian Anderson rides for Coventry. And all those fans are represented here in this big crowd. They're going to cheer their favourite home. Listen, away they go. And predictably, it's Jason Crump to the fore early on. Round the outside, but holding it on the inside in red is Armando Castagna. Battle is joined. Crump is out front. Coming through on the inside now. A really cheeky manoeuvre by Leigh Adams. who almost went on the grass. But Jason Crump is out front and now looking set for the final place we predicted earlier on.
Yeah, that was a fabulous manoeuvre there from Leigh Adams. On these turns, if you can pull the bike in, turn very early, make a sharp turn and keep your speed up and run right round the inside curb, you've gone the shortest way round and you get to the straight in front, and that's exactly what Leigh Adams did. It was a marvellous manoeuvre there.
Well, it's Australia's 1 and 2, and Julian Ryder's epic prediction that not an Australian has made it yet could well come true here, because this looks as if 2 Australians are going to win through to that final. The checkered flag now to be taken by the man in blue, Jason Crump. In second place in 1 is Leigh Adams. Back in 3rd is Amanda Castagna. That doesn't really matter. The 2 Australians are through, led by that man, Jason Crump.
Yes, Crump and Adams there, they definitely look the strongest riders on the track tonight, and you know, that was absolutely proof of that by the way they rode that race. Crump made the start. We can see that here now. Crump's in the blue helmet. You can see there, they're concentrated on the start as the tapes go. They flash away from the start, racing to that first corner. We see Crump there again. His front wheel seems to be hovering a little bit. He tends to lift too much there, but he's still got enough power. He pulls that little bit of feather on the clutch there to pull that front wheel back down. When he gets that down, he's in first place. And really, Adams had his work cut out here, because Crump was clear, as we can see. He pushes Brian Anderson a bit wide there on the first turn, too wide to be of any threat, but Adams is really struggling there at the back at this stage.
Well, there's the result of the semi-final, which means that Jason Crump and Leigh Adams are the 2 men through the final from that first semi-final. 2 Australians have done well in that semi-final. In the second semi-final, we have a Swede, an American, an Englishman, and another Swede. So could it be Sweden v Australia in the final?
Well, there are no Scotsmen and Irishmen in there, are there, Tony?
Well, Chris Louis can carry the flag for England in the second semi-final.
Those riders again are Jimmy Nielsen, Sam ERMOLENKO, Chris Louis, and Stephen
Well, Jason Crump has certainly had a memorable night so far, and as he goes into the pits there, well, a chance to confer, and we can join Julian Ryder, who's with Jason Crump.
Leigh, you first. You wanted that final. You put a heck of a move on Amanda.
Yeah, I was pretty lucky actually. We just come into this third turn and everyone was chasing the dirt, and I just went straight for the inside, and I managed to get some fresh dirt coming off the corner, and just went by and was a little bit exciting, but it's cut and thrust, these meetings, you know. It's the top 2 go through, so it had to be done.
Were you after him, or did you know you were safe for the final?
Well, I was chasing him, but he's just too quick, isn't he? No, I was kind of happy to be second, you know, and just get in there for the second and get through the final, and it should be fantastic.
You in control all the way?
Oh, I thought so. Maybe it didn't look like it from Leigh's point of view, but I think I was, and you know, going to the final feeling pretty confident, I think, now.
I'm not going to mention about Australians again.
No, well, there's 2 of us in there now, so who knows?
Well, Australia win this sometime. The second semi-final, Jimmy Nielsen of Swindon and Sweden, he's on the inside. Sam ERMOLENKO, Sheffield and the USA, goes from gate 2. Chris Louis from Ipswich in England, gate 3, and Peter KARLSSON, Wolverhampton and Sweden's from the outside. Peter, I wouldn't like to pick the 2 here.
No, but Louis there on gate 3, that's quite a favourite position there. You're not too close to the inside and you're quite wide, so you've got a good choice when you get to the first corner. If you don't make the start, you can take evasive action, and you can take the, you know, you've got more chances of taking a good line on that first turn, and he's going to need that really in this race.
Well, there we are. This is the lineup. You can take your choice of Jimmy Nielsen, Sam ERMOLENKO, Chris Louis and Peter KARLSSON. And Sam ERMOLENKO in blue. Desperate to win something this year, Sam. Desperately disappointed with the Grand Prix series this year. Away. ERMOLENKO makes it to the front 10 first. ERMOLENKO in blue. On the inside in red is Jimmy Nielsen. ERMOLENKO pursued by Chris Louis. Louis comes through on the inside in blue. There's Chris Louis from Britain. Chris Louis is taking it away round that top bend, pursued by Sam ERMOLENKO and Jimmy Nielsen. But Chris Louis is surely going to make this final now. With half a lap to go, or half the race to go, Chris Louis is looking in fine favour.
Marvellous riding there from Chris Louis. The way he took ERMOLENKO was really great, and we've got to get this Englishman in the final, but he's going to do that for us by the sound of it.
Well, Chris Leigh ahead of his second place, Sam Ermolenko, and now it's going to be a Brit, it's going to be an American, and this Jimmy Nilsson can force his way through. A little swing from Swindon is trying, but out front, G. White, it's Chris Leigh. There are the cheers, Sam Ermolenko is in second place. Back in third is Jimmy Nilsson. But it's Chris Leigh and Sam Ermolenko who qualify for a truly international final.
Oh, that was a marvellous ride from Chris Leigh, absolutely beautiful. There he goes back into the pits, but what a first turn from him, really. Ermolenko gave him a bit of a hard time on that first turn. We can see the start now, we can see Chris Leigh there, smoke coming from his bike. His probably engine's doing about 8,000 revs here at this stage. He drops the clutch and away he goes. But as he rushes towards that first corner, Ermolenko from the inside has cut right across the front there, and it's a real old fox, Ermolenko, because he's run Chris Leigh very, very wide on that first corner. He's running far too wide, and it's allowed the other riders to come through on the inside. They are so wide at this stage, they're almost off the racing line.
Well, we now know the final lineup. It's Jason Crump and Leigh Adams, two Australians, Crump of Peterborough and Adams of London Lies. And the second semi-final, Chris Leigh of Ipswich in England, Sam Ermolenko of Sheffield and the USA. A glorious climax coming up to a glorious meeting.
Chris Leigh. Second in room, Sam Ermolenko.
So then, the grand final coming up very...
Chris Leigh, do you get nervous? It's a stupid question, I know, but do you really get butterflies?
No more than for any race, really. Not at all. I like finals.
I would say it makes a change, because you struggle so hard in the Grand Prix, he's been nearly there, yet here you are. Look at the only Englishman, the only homeboy. Feel the pressure?
I wish you weren't here. You keep reminding me, about these GPs. No, not really. Obviously, it's the British Premier League, and it'd be nice for Brit to win it, so I'll be going all out to do that.
Something your father did as well?
Yeah, you keep telling me that as well. I'll try.
Well, Chris, we're all with you.
Cheers.
Julie. Peter Collins and Tony Miller.
On the inside, Leigh Adams, Chris Leigh, gate 2, Jason Crump, gate 3, and Sam Ermolenko on the outside. I'll go for Jason Crump, Peter might even go for Leigh Adams, and then we can square our bets on this. The only world champion in the final, Sam Ermolenko. The only Brit in the final, that's Chris Leigh. And we've got Leigh Adams representing Australia and Jason Crump from Australia. A truly international quality field of riders, all of whom have been in the Grand Prix this season. So the cream comes to the top, as they say, Peter.
Oh, that's right, and the tapes are going to go up any second now, but I think I'd have my money on Jason Crump.
Well, let's see what happens. Crump's away. Louis away. They're all away, and out front is Louis, Chris Leigh. Louis leads the way, pursued down the back straight by Sam Ermolenko. Jason Crump's back in third, but cuts across. Brilliant into the inside, but still, Chris Leigh stays out in front. The roof is coming off the stadium if there was one on it. The roof's coming off the stand as they cheer. Chris Leigh goes wide though, giving a chance for Ermolenko, but still, Chris Leigh holds it.
Chris Leigh seems to be really winning the one that matters. What an absolutely brilliant corner, and he's pulling away now from the rest. This is marvellous, marvellous for Chris Leigh. If he wins this, he'll have done exactly what his father did so many years ago.
Well, he's only got a lap to go. They could say, like father, like son, if he does it. He Aussies are back on the rear. Ermolenko does it. No! Chris Leigh has suffered an engine failure. And Sam Ermolenko has gone for the win. Ahead of Jason Crump and Leigh Adams. But what a disappointment for Chris Leigh. Tragedy for the young man from Ipswich. Triumph for the American Sam Ermolenko. Peter Collins, your thoughts must be with him.
Oh, you've got to feel so sad for Chris there. I mean, it seemed as though something really serious went wrong with his engine. I mean, he was doing so well, he only had to do another half a lap. He must feel so gutted now about that. But I suppose when you get an engine that's going so well, sometimes it does let go, and what a shame it couldn't have waited till after he'd finished.
Well, Chris Leigh, disappointment, and they're hugging him there. So sorry, Sam Ermolenko, though. He's had a hard year as Sam Ermolenko, and he's got a title to win with it. Well, the lift back to the pitch there for Chris Leigh. Lift back to the pitch for Chris Leigh, and I'm sure we're going to have a word with the champion Sam Ermolenko shortly.
Well, I hate to have to remind anybody, but of course, Gary...
I've seen some cruel things in sport, but that's about as cruel as it comes. One corner left.
Yeah, that's Speedway, you know, it happens, and I'm absolutely gutted. It's one that I wanted to win for the British fans, you know, but what can I say? I felt I was more than good enough, the bike was more than good enough. Bad luck.
What happened?
I don't know, the engine just blew up. So I felt it going the lap before, and I was just trying to slow it down a little bit and couldn't quite get it home. But, you know, that's motorsport.
Thanks for waving the flag so effectively all season.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, you know. It would have been a nice way to finish, but next year.
You know, to represent Sheffield here, you know, they're really a tremendously hard-working club. They deserve better, and I finally gave them something that they can hold on to.
Very true. Sam, what did you think starting that last lap? Did you think you could get him?
Well, you know, squeezing in, I had bike problems in my fourth heat, and then coming out, I had to take my second bike. So in the semi-final and the final, I rode my second bike. And I went for it, and I didn't make such a great start off for it, but I made a good first turn. And I was settling for second, you know. I was making sure that I kept the guys behind me to get a chance to get on the podium here. And you have to be there, and Chris blew up, and I was there, and I'll take it.
Not for the first time?
No, that's it.
Third?
Yeah, it is my third time. That's right. You got it. That's it. Yeah, third time winning this championship. That's great.
Sam, well done. We enjoyed it.
Okay, cheers.
Sam Ermolenko's memory then, not quite as good as his riding tonight, that's for sure. Ermolenko on top of the podium. The rain, as he said, comes down. Good job after the race meeting, and it is now pouring down out there.